guys, welcome back to our channel Millicent Moms. So in the first part we have dealt with the pregnancy. In that we have dealt only till diabetes mellitus. As it is a long chapter, we were not able to finish it in a single video. That's the reason why we have made it into two parts. So the first part, I hope everyone have watched it. In that we have cleared till diabetes mellitus. That means pregnancy induced diabetes mellitus or gestational diabetes mellitus. These two things we have discussed. So diabetes can occur in two types. It can be pregnancy induced diabetes mellitus or gestational diabetes mellitus. If it is a gestational diabetes mellitus, then that means it is occurring only at the time of pregnancy. Pre-existing means it was already the patient was having diabetes and now there is a complication for that particular condition. In these cases, if there is a pre-existing diabetes mellitus, the patient must be taking some or the other management for that. Like if the patient is a non-case of diabetes and patient is taking an oral hypoglycemics, or sometimes the patient may be on insulin also. In these cases, we need to indicate by giving a code. That code is nothing but Z79.4. Okay. For that, we need to clearly understand what medication the patient is taking. If it is an oral hypoglycemic, it falls like Z79.4, 84, and orals it can be like 79.4. Okay, so you should read and analyze what they have mentioned, whether it is an oral hypoglycemic or it is an insulin. Okay, it is not like only pre-existing patients will be using. Even though it is gestational diabetes mellitus, sometimes the doctor may treat with, first they will try with the diet management and next they will try with the oral hypoglycemic. See, if it is not reducing, then they will go for an insulin management. So just read the documentation clearly and try to understand which category of care the doctor is giving, and based on that you pick your codes. The category code will remain from Z79. Then the next thing is coding sequencing of gestational diabetes. It is like O24.4, which is gestational diabetes mellitus. It's nothing but diabetes which has occurred at the time of pregnancy. And the second code is like Z79.84, which is the management, as I have told, oral hypoglycemics or insulin. Based on the documentation, you need to pick your codes. Then the next one is sepsis and septic shock. In this, two things will be there. Like it can be one scenario will be like at the time of abortion, if the patient is getting any abortion, or the next thing will be like puerperal sepsis. I'll give you one example. The example which they have given is like patient is seen several days after a miscarriage with sepsis. Culture returns MSSA. Okay, that means the patient is having a miscarriage and the patient has come to the doctor, patient got miscarriage and they have sent for a culture, and the culture report states the patient is having MSSA, methicillin susceptible staphylococcus aureus. So how you will code in this scenario? Anyway, as the patient was pregnant and she got aborted, your coding series will remain still in O category. Okay, so it will be like O03.87. The code indicates like sepsis following complete or unspecified spontaneous abortion. If you are in front of your textbook, just try to open the book and read this code so that you will be easily able to understand this one. So the sepsis following complete or unspecified spontaneous abortion, it is O03.87, and as in the example they have told like it is MSSA, so we will code like B95.61. Okay, always try to remember it is a causative organism, so the category code will fall from the O series. Okay, so you will pick that particular code and you will put it over here. Okay, so this is the coding sequencing for the sepsis and septic shock. Those who have not watched this sepsis and septic shock video, just go back to our channel and just you see the video so that you will be able to clearly understand what is sepsis and septic shock. We'll just post the link below this video. Okay. And the next one is like puerperal sepsis. What is puerperal sepsis? Puerperal sepsis is nothing but the sepsis which occurs after the delivery. That means during the postnatal period, still the woman will be having some bleeding set out. So there is a risk of getting UTI and all other vaginal infections, all those things. And also if there is any retained products and all, the patient may be getting any kind of sepsis. So in that case, what happens? The doctor will do the culture and they will decide what happened, which type of disease the patient is having. In that case, we call it as a puerperal sepsis. That means in the postnatal period, if the patient is getting any sepsis, means we'll call it as a puerperal sepsis. For that, the category code will belong from O85. For this scenario also, you are supposed to code the causative organ based on the culture report. In the previous example, I have told the abortion has happened and the culture report state MSSA. If in this case, if it is saying as candidiasis, you should code for candidiasis. Or else if it is an MRSA, then you should code for an MRSA. Anyhow, your primary code will remain as O85 category code, and your secondary code will be the category code will be from the infectious series. That is the B series codes. Okay, this is nothing but the sepsis and puerperal sepsis. The next one is alcohol, tobacco use during pregnancy, childbirth and puerperia. Okay, we all know some women will be using alcohol and tobacco, isn't it? So when we are pregnant, we need to inform the doctor that okay, I am an alcohol user or I am a smoker. We need to intimate the doctor so that they can divert the care based on our condition. They can give us a special cares for all these things. But when we code, as coders, what we are supposed to do is we need to choose the codes properly. So for if the woman is an alcohol dependent patient, in that case what we need to do is our primary code or the primary category code for the alcohol will fall under O99.31. If you are in front of the textbook, please try to open that one so that you will be clearly getting an idea. In O99.31 in the textbook, if you see, there will be a comment given like use an additional code. Okay, so what will be your additional code? As the patient is an alcohol using patient, this secondary code will be from the F series, which we have taken mental health and behavioral. In that, use, abuse and dependence. I think Vidya has taken that classes and she have mentioned in this what is the difference between use, abuse and dependence. If you have not seen that, just go back and have a look on it so that you will be understanding how to code that one. Okay, so here in this scenario, primary code will be from O99.31 and your secondary code will be from the F category. Here the category code will be like F10, alcohol use, and automatically your last code will be your weeks of gestation. How many weeks the patient is pregnant, that you are supposed to mention there, and the category code will be like Z3A, and if it is 18 weeks it will be 18, 17 means 17. Okay, based on that you need to intimate it. The next thing is like tobacco use. If the woman in the same scenario as alcohol, if the woman is a tobacco user, means your primary category code will be like O99.33. Instead of alcohol, this one will be tobacco. Same sequencing will be following here also. Instead of alcohol use, you will be coding nicotine dependence. Tobacco is nothing but nicotine. Okay, so your secondary code will be like nicotine dependence, where the category code falls under F17. Your nicotine dependence you need to indicate, and your third code will be your weeks of gestation. Okay, so this is nothing but alcohol and tobacco use. You need to categorize based on O99 series. 3.1 means it will be alcohol and 3.3 means it will be tobacco. And based on the patient's condition, if it is alcohol user, you need to code based on that. If tobacco user, you should go for nicotine dependence. Anyhow, by the end you need to code the weeks of gestation also. Okay, so we'll move on to the next point. The next point is like poisoning, toxic effect, adverse effects and underdosing in a pregnant patient. Okay. So this adverse effects, poisoning, all these things, it will come in the next chapter. It is a bit complicated chapter. We will be taking it very soon. Okay. So before going to this one, I'll just tell you. At the time of giving the introduction for the book, I have mentioned you guys how to check a code from a drug table. The book is categorized into, initially it is an index list, then it comes the neoplasm table and then the drug and chemical table. Whenever you get like this adverse effects, poisoning, all these complications, just try to go back to your drug and chemical table and pick your codes so that you can easily find it out. In that it is clearly mentioned as underdosing, overdosing, unintentional poisoning, intentional poisoning, all these things they have clearly categorized. So if you know for which drug the patient is having that complication, you can easily pick out the codes. Okay, so anyhow, as this is a pregnant patient, your primary code will always remain from the O category. I'll read you an example. Patient admitted with accidental carbon monoxide poisoning from gas heating implement. The patient is 18 weeks pregnant. Okay, unintentionally the patient has inhaled carbon monoxide. So here the poisoning thing is carbon monoxide. When you are checking your drug and chemical table, you will go and select carbon monoxide, and based on that in the side it is mentioned as unintentional poisoning. So that particular code you will be picking. So here we will see how the scenario is. Here the codes will be like O9A.212. That is nothing but injury, poisoning and certain other consequences of external cause complicating pregnancy second trimester. Why it came as second trimester? As the patient is 18 weeks pregnant. Okay, in the first video I have told you how the category of trimesters are going 0 to 14. That means 13 weeks and 7 days will be the first trimester. Then 14 to 27 and 7 days will be your second trimester. And from 28 it will be your third trimester. Here in the example, they have clearly stated as the patient is 18 weeks pregnant. So, you will be considering it as the second trimester. If this was 10 weeks, then this one could be 1. Okay. So, O9A.212 and the T51.11XA is the poisoning code. Toxic effect of carbon monoxide from utility gas, accidental, that means unintentional. In the example, they have clearly told it is an unintentional poisoning. So, we will be mentioning it as an unintentional poisoning. And your third code will be like your weeks of gestation. Okay. So, in this, the only thing what you need to understand is how to pick a code from your drug and chemical table. So, just go back and watch how to pick a code from drug and chemical table. So, you will be easily able to identify to pick it. So, the next one is like normal delivery. In normal delivery, we have two categories like encounter for full term uncomplicated pregnancy, and the second one is like uncomplicated delivery with resolved antepartum complications. Easily we can differentiate this one. First one is like the patient is getting pregnant and there is no complications at all till the time of delivery, and the patient is getting delivered with full term normal vaginal delivery. That will fall under this first category. In that case, you will code like O80 along with the full term delivery O80 and along with the outcome of delivery, that is Z37. And in the second scenario, it is like uncomplicated delivery with resolved antepartum complication. Resolved antepartum complication. That means during the time of pregnancy, antepartum complications were present. Like for example, if the patient is having some kind of low-lying placenta. In the initial video, I have told the normal presentation of the baby at the time of delivery will be vertex presentation. That is, the head will be presenting. So, when it will happen? At the third trimester, during the last weeks only, the baby will rotate and the head will come down. Okay. So, before that, sometimes the placenta will be low-lying. It can be like placenta previa. All those conditions can happen. And also, sometimes it will be like cord around the neck also. The umbilical cord will be around baby's neck. But once the baby rotates, it may get normal also. The placenta may go back to the normal position and the cord around the neck also can be resolved. Okay. In that case, and the patient is delivering normally. In that case, we will go for the second category like uncomplicated delivery with resolved antepartum complications O80, then Z37.0. This will be your codes. Okay. So, in this one, they have to like O80 and Z37.0 single live infant. Okay. So, the next one is like outcome of delivery. It is Z37.0 outcome of delivery. From the beginning of chapter I am telling it is nothing but the baby. So, for that you need to code Z37.0. Z37.0 is a single live birth, is only outcome of delivery code appropriate for use with O80. That means we need to club only with O80 normal delivery. We should not code with any other codes. Okay. So, these are the main points which we need to discuss. Till now we were talking till the delivery. Okay. Now, after the delivery, what all things will come, that we will discuss. Okay. After the delivery, the particular period is known as postpartum period. Okay. So, you need to identify the difference between what is postpartum and peripartum. Okay. Postpartum is nothing but the 6 weeks from the date of delivery till 6 weeks is considered as postpartum, and peripartum is nothing but 1 month before the delivery and after the delivery 5 months. That means it will be total of 6 months, but the time period is like before 1 month of delivery and after delivery 5 months. Okay, this is peripartum period, and postpartum period is 6 weeks from the date of delivery. Okay. So, in this mainly you need to understand pregnancy related complication after 6 weeks of 6 weeks period. That means in a peripartum period, if the patient is coming with any of the other complications. I will give you an example. During the time of pregnancy, most of the women, like 50 to 60% of women will be having a complaint of varicose veins due to the excess childbearing weight and all those things, the women will be having varicose veins. In that cases, what happens during the period of pregnancy, it may be normal, okay, but once after the delivery, for some people it will be like it gets resolved, okay, but for some women it will not get resolved, okay. So in that cases, they may need a surgical solution which we need to do for that. If the woman is coming before 6 months, then in that case we can code like O87.4. Okay, not only this varicose veins, this Dickovan syndrome, all those things happens as a complication of pregnancy. Okay, so immediately after the delivery, within 6 months, if we are doing any corrective measures for that, that will come as a peripartum complication, and for that the category code will be like O87.4. Okay, this is nothing but postpartum and peripartum. And the next one is like admission for routine postpartum care following delivery outside the hospital. Now, what is this outside the hospital delivery? Now, usually delivery happens inside the hospital only, okay. But sometimes if it happens as any institution like any home delivery or in any home care or during the travel, we know if it is the time it happens. So, if it is happening like that, immediately we will be reaching the mother and baby to the nearby hospital. So at that time they will be giving all the care to the mother and baby. In that scenarios, your category code will be like Z79.0. Okay, sorry, it's not 79, it's 39. Z39.0. You should read the scenario, and if you see a word like delivery happened outside the hospital, then your coding should be like Z39.0. Okay, that will be a principal diagnosis. So this is nothing but delivery outside the hospital. The next one is like pregnancy associated cardiomyopathy. Okay, why this happens? Sometimes due to the excessive pressure like or compression and all those things, there is a chance of getting cardiac complications as well as the respiratory complications, because once as the uterus is getting developed, there is a compression happening to the upper chest. Okay, so there is a chance of getting complications. In that cases, we will be putting like O90.3. Once after the delivery, till the uterus comes back to the normal, that means the involution stage, if till that time there is a chances of that existing complications. If it is getting resolved, then it is fine. If not, and the patient is coming back with the same complaint, in that case you will be coding with O90.3. Okay, this is nothing but cardiomyopathy complication. Okay, so the next point is like code O94 sequelae complication of pregnancy, childbirth and puerperal. For example, if the patient is having any or the other complication at the time of delivery, like any perineal tear, during the time of normal delivery, sometimes what happens, the patient may get like second degree perineal tear, third degree perineal tear, all those things. Like at the time of using any forceps, vacuum or anything, if the patient is getting any kind of complications, then the doctor will be doing a particular management for that one. And once after the patient getting discharged and at the time of perinatal period, if the patient is having any complication and if the patient is returning to the doctor, in that case you will be coding this O94 scenario. Okay, after the initial postpartum period. Okay, so it should be mentioned as the patient was having a complication during the delivery and patient has come up for a follow-up for that one or along with the complication. In that case, you can use this O94 series. Okay. So, till now we were dealing with pregnancy and delivery. Now, there is a small topic regarding abortions. In that actually there are 2 to 3 guidelines. The first one is like abortion with live born fetus. In this one, sometimes what happens, there will be some other 6 month or 7 month. That time we will be going for an elective. We will be choosing for an elective abortion. It can be a complication for mother or baby. At that time we will be choosing this elective abortion. If we are choosing an elective abortion and if the baby is live, then the coding sequence will be like Z33.2. That will be a primary code, like encounter for elective termination of pregnancy, and your secondary code will be like Z37, the live fetus or the outcome of delivery. Okay, that is the first one. And the second guideline is like retained product of conception following an abortion. In this one, the example given is like patient was seen 2 days ago for complete spontaneous abortion, but returns today for UTI with ultrasound showing retained products of conception. If the patient is undergoing an abortion, okay, and if there is some conception products remaining in the patient is developing UTI. So in this case, what happens? We will be mentioning the code like O03.38. The code description is like UTI following incomplete spontaneous abortion. Okay. So you should be sure that this is a complication of abortion. In that case only you are supposed to put this particular code. This code sequence will be like O03.38. Okay. So the next one is like complication leading to abortion. In this one, as I have discussed, either it can be due to the retained products or like elective with a live-born fetus. And the next guideline is abuse in pregnant patients. There are two types of abuses where a pregnant patient can get. Physical abuse, sexual abuse. In the previous chapter, we have already explained regarding this one. But in this case, if the pregnant woman is getting abused physically, the category code will be like 098.3, and if it is a sexual abuse, it will be like 098.4. Along with this, we need to add some external codes also, like what type of abuse the patient has got, from where the patient has got the abuse, all these things we need to add along with it. So the thing you need to remember is, if it is a physical abuse, your category code will be like 098.3, and if it is sexual abuse, your category code will be like 098.4. Okay, so these are the main things which falls under this chapter: pregnancy, and then the delivery, the postpartum period, and then the abortion. So try to watch the videos completely, go through the questions which we have uploaded, and if you have any doubts or any clarification, you can just mail us on medicinemoms